This time on Kawaii-Fi Radio, we pitch ideas for a new hit isekai series, reincarnated as Akihabara restaurant's display food.
Display ham.
Display ham.
But with no psychic powers or abilities whatsoever, it's just like, help!
Emma weighs in on the latest Tatami series.
Halfway through, you turn to me and you're like, you don't like this, do you? Which is like, my man, no.
And we take a look at Cyberpunk Edgerunners, Choom. This is the only time I think I've ever said this about a Netflix dub.
Right?
It's impeccable.
It's a very good
The
dub.
English dub is great.
It's over 9,000! NANI?
Configure the language logic interface for Japanese.
Kawaii-Fi.
Kawaii-Fi.
Kawaii-Fi Radio!
Konnichiwa, it's Kyle here, and you're listening to Kawaii-Fi Radio, a podcast for diving into the world of anime and manga. I don't know why I started with my name, but I also have two other people here with me.
I am also Kyle.
I'm not Kyle. I am a meat
Imposter.
meat popsicle.
Meat popsicle, you're eating sausage at the moment.
I'm eating sausage and cheese, and my name is Emma.
I was secretly Kenny all along.
So, yes, the three of us are back, Kyle, Emma, and Kenny. We're doing the flip side of what we did last week, where we had the rest of the team here with me, because half of them are over east at PAX at the moment.
We're the B team.
I only come on if they have no one else.
Or if it's spooky.
You are our
Or if
last
it's
hope.
spooky, yeah.
Which means you'll be on next fortnight again, because that's the Halloween episode.
Oh, right.
What are we doing for Halloween?
You're not doing nothing. Isn't it Spooky Ladies Month?
I don't know. Well, we'll see how many people show up.
Oh, okay.
But yes, this episode, it's Edgerunner time.
It's edgy.
It's very good. It's Cyberpunk Edgerunners on Netflix. It's by Studio Trigger. It's finally landed. Everyone went, when they first announced it, oh, well, Cyberpunk's dead after that terrible start. And
Netflix.
why are they going to keep doing Edgerunners? That's a terrible idea. And then it came out, and it has absolutely revitalized Cyberpunk.
Millions of people have re-downloaded the game. It's pretty fantastic.
Oh, good for them.
And there's a whole load of new content and DLC coming out as well. So, I mean, I might have given it all away already, but is it any good? Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. But first, we need to talk about what we've been watching.
I have no idea how old I am or where I came from.
Nani? Ohio.
Hang time! I gotta go!
I have to know. Hooray! I did the thing.
Oni-chan, nani wo miru? What we're watching. Other than Cyberpunk, what have we been watching with this new season?
The City Hunt movie from the year 2000.
The City Hunter film.
Yes.
The Jackie Chan one?
Oh, no. I mean 2012. There was an animated City Hunter movie.
Ah.
And...
So you recently watched that?
Aha.
Was it good?
I don't know. It's very much of its time.
I mean, City Hunter is a little bit strange after all, so...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the new season is new.
Yeah, like a week old at this point.
So, there's only one episode of most things out at the moment, right?
And of course, one of those things is Spy X Family.
Yes. Finally.
Yeah.
It's back.
And everyone's very happy.
I know it wasn't even that long of a wait, but it felt like forever. Especially when they were like, oh, they're getting a dog in the next season. And I was like, how dare you? Like, dog tease me,
Give me the dog now.
Yeah.
At least show me pictures of the dog. Show me beforehand pictures of this dog.
Yeah, we saw the dog, and I was like, I'm going to have that dog. And then...
So did the rest of the internet.
The season finished, and I was
Yeah.
like, I knew this would happen.
You knew it would happen. There's a trap. It's to get you interested and excited. And then they put the dog in the opening sequence as well.
And then they put the dog in a bow tie in the opening sequence.
What did
with
they name
such
it?
a sad
Anyone remember
face.
what they named him? I feel like it
I
was...
don't think they've named him yet in the first episode.
I don't know why. I feel
She
like
just
it's a butler
calls
name.
him
Yes,
Mr. Dog.
With the little bow tie, I think it's got to have like a butler
like-
name. Like
Like Winston or something like that.
Winston or Alfred or
Yeah.
Al
Barnaby.
something.
What?
Oh.
Do you want to just look it up?
You know what? I'm just gonna
Gonna look it up.
Spy X Family Dog.
Oh my god, his name's magnificent. Bond.
Bond.
Bond
Bond.
Forger.
I'm so happy.
He is so good.
Please tell me it's a reference to a certain James Bond.
It obviously
course
is
it
because it's
is.
spies.
Well, the picture they have him, the album cover. What am I talking about? The manga cover picture they have him is in one of the Bond chairs, the spinny ones. So yeah, that's perfect.
He's going to be the goodest boy.
He's going to be the bestest boy. It's going to be amazing.
The fact that Anya can ride him into battle.
I
makes me so
know.
happy.
I'm kind
Makes
of
me
like,
so
what
pleased.
kind of dog is he?
The bestest dog.
Come on, I'm a dog person. What
Okay.
breed?
All right, I'll
He's
pull it up.
the dog
kinda looks
from
like a
Full
sheep's-
Metal Alchemist.
Like a Welsh sheepdog. You know, like the Dulux paint dog?
Oh, yeah.
It kind of looks like that, like a white version of that. But it looks like he'd have like a short snout, so he's not like a Malamute or nothing.
Large dog
Or
of
a
an
Samoy.
indeterminate breed.
Indeterminate!
So it's a fantasy dog. Either that or it's like the greatest mutt breed ever.
Greatly resembles the Great Pyrenees breed.
The Pyrenees.
Yeah.
What-
Yonkers.
What's Pyrenees like?
They
Set things on
guard.
fire.
They're a guard dog, like a farm guard dog.
Oh.
So they usually guard sheep, livestock
boy.
kind
Wow.
of thing. Yeah, they're huge and very aggressive, but like they're like outside dogs. So they're working dogs. They're full on working dogs, not recommended for families. And I'm pretty sure there was a movie that came out, I don't know, in the 2010s about one of the Great Pyrenees guarding penguins on an island. I think it was an Australian film.
Oh.
And after that, like there was a huge like rush for people to get Pyrenees. And then everyone's like, holy moly, these are not family dogs. It's like, no,
No,
they are working
they're
dogs.
working dogs.
Did none of
They
you
are
see the thing?
protecting penguins, like from foxes and things like that, you
I
know?
was just going to say, these dogs have one mission in life. Protect
To
the
protect and
penguins.
serve.
Apparently, Anya is a
Much
penguin.
like Bond. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. But look, new season, exactly the same animation as the previous one. Still jointly animated between Wit and Mappa.
Mappa, yes.
Yeah, Wit and Mappa, I think it was.
Because Mappa is doing everything this season.
Yeah, Mappa's involved in a lot this season. But it's just as good as you remember, and it's getting even better, and
Yay.
everything's still on point.
Yeah, it's beautiful
It's
as well.
beautifully done. Now,
I mean, there's
we've-
kind of a reason it's been wrestling every other anime for the top spot.
This is true. This is it's actually season 2 of Spy X Family was more highly anticipated than Chainsaw Man, and that makes sense because Spy X Family has a
Yeah.
much broader appeal than Chainsaw Man. If you're not into hyperviolence or
Well, it's already got a precedent. Like season
Yeah.
1 was outstanding, and
It
Chainsaw
was.
Man, to a lot of people like me who aren't in the manga scape, it's a rumor,
Yeah.
a cool, mysterious rumor.
which
That's
has-
actually a very
yeah.
apt way of putting it as well. Like, I knew nothing of Chainsaw Man either, and then everyone online just started whispering about it.
And
When
God,
it
Started
it's
was
been-
frothing at the
it's
mouth
been
about
long,
some sort of
hasn't it?
chainsaw dog, and then I was like, "What is that thing? It's gross." And then everyone's like, "Nah, it's so cool." And now I'm excited for Chainsaw Man
because the dog.
No, because of the violence.
because of the
spoopy-
violence.
That's fair.
Man, okay. Now we have 2 new shows from this season that we've briefly looked at. First, Reincarnated as a Sword. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's an isekai. Animation's not bad. Premise isn't bad, but I think the staying power is going to
I don't know,
could
man.
probably be pretty.
Premise sounds a bit bad.
Premise is
Yeah.
overdone.
Yeah,
It's basically like a poor man's slime.
yeah.
You know,
Look.
he gets in, he's like, "Oh, I'm this weird, weak thing. Why don't I just kill other things,
Yeah.
get all the skills, and then find someone?"
How?
The sword has telekinesis ability. It lets him
Yeah, from the
rotate for 2
get-go,
minutes. Yeah.
he's a sword. He has telekinesis, so he can throw himself around, and he starts killing goblins and taking their skills.
Yeah.
So he just becomes
This
like,
is just slime.
It is,
Yeah.
but it's less charming.
yeah.
Wow.
And I'd say
Yeah.
not as well animated as Slime at all.
I'm not really looking forward to the main character other than him. It looks like some small cat girl.
It's a
who's
small
like
cat girl.
8 years old,
Yeah.
and she's bullied or I don't know, a
Yeah.
slave, something like that.
It just feels very phoned in. Like, it feels like it's definitely riding on the tail of slime as
There was-
opposed
It's
to...
done. It's so done.
There was another
Even if
isekai
it's a sword.
from like many seasons ago we reviewed, and it was like he's a demon lord and he's been isekai'd into this thing, and he gets this little slave girl friend. This just feels like a blending of that and slime.
Yeah, but this is much better animated than that. If you remember, that was our contender for worst anime of the year because of how
which
bad
one was that?
You didn't watch this.
Oh, of course
This
not.
was long ago.
But when you said, he was isekai and he was a demon lord and blah, I was like,
That's half
Devil's
the
a part-timer?
isekai. Well, that's a reverse isekai, I guess. But yeah, reincarnated as a sword. Look, if you're absolutely bang on that isekai train, you'll probably enjoy it. You're not going to find it to be the best isekai you've ever watched. It's very middling. It's not the worst. It's not the best. From what we've seen.
Yeah,
so
I'm not
far.
going to say don't watch it. It's dumb.
Yeah,
It's dumb.
it ain't no
Like-
Arifureta, that's for sure. Like,
If you just need something to put on in the background while you're, I don't know, doing whatever, cooking or anything, literally anything.
well, if
You
you're
may as well
sitting
put
there
it on.
playing, the new Pokemon which comes out next month, this would be good on the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or if you're playing Cyberpunk 2077 by Red Studios.
CD Projekt Red. Look, I'll be honest. If you're playing Cyberpunk, you don't have time to look at another screen.
No.
You're constantly being shot at. It's amazing.
Yes.
Now, so look, reincarnated as a sword. What I'm looking forward to is next year's reincarnated as a vending machine in the dungeon. This it's so outlandish that I'm
I know,
okay
you keep
with it.
trying to get me on this train.
Oh,
but I'm
look,
just-
I'm going to be brutally honest. It's a 4 out of 10. But it's hilarious. It's a hilarious 4 out of 10 because it's just so stupid.
Coming
All
this
right,
season.
if they grab that and take it by the reins and just go, hell yeah, we're a 4 out of 10. Let's go.
I think they will.
Like Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
They just know exactly what they are and they just
It's
go
just
full
coming
ham
the
at it.
season after. Reincarnated as a gramophone in a dungeon.
Yeah.
No. Reincarnated as a gramophone in a music college run by wizards.
Yeah.
Actually, that...
No.
Did you just take my joke and make it into something that could be explored?
That we'll see next season. Yeah.
Okay. Reincarnated as a taxidermied hamster with psychic powers.
I thought you were going to say ham in the front of one of them Japanese stores that serves
Oh,
ramen.
like one of those
Yeah.
plastic
What
hams
are
that
they
looks
called?
real.
Yeah.
I love those so much.
Oh my god.
My dad's got a beer.
An honest to god art form.
Reincarnated as Akihabara restaurants display food.
Display ham.
Display
Yes.
ham.
But with no psychic powers or
I don't-
abilities whatsoever. It's just like, help!
One season only, 20 chapters of a manga, and it's only exploring the food of the restaurant and how it's made. It would work. However,
Just watch Isekai
Any-
Nobu.
well, anything
I
other
also
than that,
kind of like the idea of he just watches the customers coming in and then explains, makes up stories about the customers' lives, and then every episode it's just him making up an entire story about the customers he sees every single episode.
Oh,
I'd watch
and
that.
the last minute is it showing it from the customer's point of view and showing how it's something completely mundane and not like what he was talking about.
I mean, yeah, that's about right.
I was thinking the Pulp Fiction. It's like Pulp Fiction.
Oh.
It's like all these different storylines.
No, I dig
Just
that.
told by a ham, a wax ham.
All right. Well, let's on the note of absolutely bonkers, Tatami Time Machine Blues. Now,
No.
you're like, no, I'm not talking about it. This is wow. This is not for everyone. I'd say this is almost for no one. If you like Tatami Galaxy or Night is Short Walk On Girl, same creator. This is the guy who does the album covers for Asian Kung Fu Generation. His manga is always just, man, it's all over the shop.
I just look down on anyone that plays with time travel. Don't do it.
This is kind of funny though.
Look, we were watching it, and about halfway through, you turned to me. I'm playing Candy Crush, and you're like,
You play Candy Crush?
"You don't like this, do you?" It's like, my man, no. It's not Candy Crush. It's Homescapes, which is basically a different version of Candy Crush.
It's Candy Crush with gardening.
Well,
and house building
house
and-
building.
That sounds
decorating
like
stuff.
Farmville.
It's better than Farmville.
It's better than Farmville.
Yeah.
You know what you should play? You should play Graveyard Keeper.
I've tried. I don't like the side-scrolling weirdness of it. I don't know. There's something about it that I'm just like, bleh. I didn't grow up with that
What
kind
do
of
you
stuff.
have against retro?
I didn't grow up with retro. I don't have that nostalgia fact. That
So you just grew up in the age of 3 dimensions. Back in my day, we only had 2 dimensions.
no,
and we
Kenton,
were
I
happy.
was poor.
Back in my day, we were poor.
Back in my day, we had money. No, we didn't. Okay. Well, look, Tatami Time Machine Blues. It's wild.
Sorry.
It talks a million miles a minute, and yeah, it's not going to be for everyone. I think if you liked, what's the Vampires and Stationery?
You know what?
Monogatari.
Monogatari?
I reckon if you liked Uncle from Another World, you might like this.
Yeah.
It's got a weird...
But you like Uncle from Another World.
I mean, it's all right.
We're still quite far behind on it because
Yeah.
it got delayed.
Yeah. I don't like how fast the guy talks in Tatami.
Yeah. And that's
It's
I think,
really annoying.
It is. I think that's a style of his thing. So whenever the guy is doing a self-narration, the main character seems kind of... I'm going to be honest, I feel like a bit like a self-insert. Like,
Yeah,
I'm a
it's-
really intelligent self-insert.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
But he talks a million miles a minute. But the story that's going on around him is kind of interesting.
What do we call that? You know how we've got like a Chad, if it's like a dude bro?
Yeah.
But we don't... It's...
Crypto bro.
No, it's not, it's not even that. You're like...
Elitist.
It's like an incel.
I think,
I don't
I mean,
know.
the character design does kind of fit towards that, but Japan doesn't really have that. I'd say he's more like borderline hikikomori.
Isn't he like a... Is he a student?
He's a
or-
student,
Yeah.
but it's like, like students will still go out to do their studies, but then come home and not go out and socialize.
Yeah, I know. But when he was talking to some of the other people in his dorm, I don't know. He seemed like he had a professor vibe around them. Like he was like above them.
Yeah, no, but he's not.
Yeah, well, that's what it felt like.
Tatami Time Machine Blues will not be for everyone, but it's an interesting sort of subset, like because of what it's based on. If you like Tatami Galaxy, you'll like it. Yeah,
If you like
I'd
the
say
Time of Galaxy,
give it at least 15 minutes.
yeah.
Like watch half the episode because you'll know
You'll
by
know
halfway,
by halfway
through
through.
the first episode whether or not you like it.
Yeah, but basically, it's the story about a guy who lives in a communal dorm, all students. In his 3rd year, he gets the only room in the entire building which has an air conditioner, and one of the roommates spills cola on the remote. And of course, it's an old air conditioning machine, so you can't manually turn it on. So apparently, they construct a time machine to go back in time to fix the remote. But the guy that broke the remote keeps stuffing with time when they go back.
This sounds dumb.
Yeah,
It sounds smart, but it sounds dumb.
exactly. Rick and Morty.
Ugh.
No, it's not even. Rick and Morty has like at least some sort of storyline and consequence to it. This just sounds
It
like...
has some charm.
I mean, if you've got a time machine, just, I don't know, go back, invest some stocks in Apple or whatever. Rather than,
And I mean, Simpsons did it.
yeah, well.
I mean, Simpsons did everything, though.
Yeah.
Well, that's the old gag. Alrighty. Well, enough of slamming on the new season. Because we haven't had anything nice to say so far, have we?
We haven't watched enough of it. I'm looking
we really
forward to
haven't.
that maid one.
Oh, Akiba Maid War. It's a war between maid cafes.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know much more than that.
I just saw a wee bit on TikTok and it looks fantastic.
Do they have guns or?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it's actual warfare
Yes.
Actual warfare. It's
between maid cafes.
it's not style. Oh, what's it? The one which they did the Snoop Dogg version.
Oh, Blend S.
Blend S. It's not Blend S, which is just, slice of life in the cafe. This is like action drama craziness.
Viewers, please, if you are of age to, handle drug references, go to YouTube and look up Blend W. It's wonderful.
It's amazing. Made by Mutant Do. And with that, we should probably talk about what we have actually been watching this season, because that's Cyberpunk Edgerunners.
Kawaii-Fi Radio.
I think I watched that as a kid.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Back catalog.
Man, I was so tempted to use the retro classic music for it because it totally fits it, but it's literally just come out. Like, give me that retro vibe. Cyberpunk Edgerunners. It is a Netflix anime created by Studio Trigger, who are amazing. If you've not heard
And
of...
singular in their animation style.
They are. If you haven't heard of Studio Trigger, Kill la Kill. Wow, I didn't know that was them, actually.
Gurren Lagann.
Supernatural battles become commonplace.
Oh, that was them?
That was them, apparently.
Oh.
Little Witch Academia, Darling in the Franxx, Promare, Brand New Animal, Inferno Cop, Fact Files, apparently, Ninja Slayer from Animation, and many other things. They're the original people who came to it were from Gurren Lagann, from Gainax, when that was that. Gainax has spawned so many different studios over the years.
This very much fits their
Anime
MO
of the
to a
season.
T.
Like,
It's like their quintessential aesthetic.
yeah.
Nobody does colors like Trigger.
Yeah.
Actually, there was a color that was missing. Me and Carl were talking about this over messages earlier today. So take the main character, David, paint his hair blue. What do you get?
Oh my God, is that Kamina?
It's
but
Kamina!
younger? From Gurren Lagann?
Everybody.
Yeah, well,
And from Promare as well.
this is the thing. I said this looks exactly like Promare when we were first watching this.
Yeah. This was fantastic. And this had no right being as good as it is with how far Cyberpunk's stock has fallen.
So what would you actually rate it?
I'd give this an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Easy.
Ken?
It's tough. Like, I do have kind of a criticism. I found the ending very abrupt. I found the last episode very
It's a bit lackluster, wouldn't it?
quick. I don't know. It's
But it did feel right because, you know, the world they're living in, things end and start very quickly.
Oh, it definitely fit the style. It fit the like original material to a T. I don't know. It's like, I don't know if I can really badmouth it too much in that way. It was what it was. I just don't think that's my thing entirely. So, yeah, solid 8 out of 10.
I agree. It'd probably be 7.5 to an 8. I rate different elements of it differently. So the
Yeah.
aesthetics,
Aesthetic was amazing.
you know, the drawing style, the coloring, the
like the animation on just
what
as
would
a
be the
whole.
director of photography.
Yeah.
9.5 out of 10.
Oh,
Huge.
It was
Huge.
incredibly well done visually.
Stunning
The-
visually.
The person on art direction, especially for the colors, has spent a good few years in
Oh
Amsterdam.
yeah. Character design was fantastic.
Absolutely.
I
I
loved
do
that.
think if we could have had this as 12 episodes instead of 10, I think that would have given them time to flesh out that back half.
No, I disagree.
What, you reckon it should have been shorter?
I don't think they had enough story for 10 episodes. One of them was an entire montage event of him training, basically.
Well, that was episode 4, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, it's just like, and now he's going to go train with Becca.
And then
now
they
he's
had,
going to go train with Maine.
They had an episode that was basically all of the exposition as well.
Yeah.
Where they
Yeah,
just sort of
they just talked over him like running and shooting guns and things like that. And then,
But
bam, he was part of the crew.
Yeah.
By the end of it, you know, everyone was buddy-buddy. If they had actually explored the rest of Lucy's story, then yeah, 12, happy days. But they've left that at an open end. They've left that
Yeah.
completely untethered, which means they may be going for a second season.
we have heard rumors about this.
Well, no. It's not rumors of a second season. It was rumors of a sequel to Cyberpunk the game.
Oh,
Yeah.
but still, I mean, considering how well this did for the game with tens of millions of people just flying back to it,
Oh, yeah.
and that
Yeah.
there is DLC which includes a bunch of the weapons and clothes and locations
yeah, that's
from
pretty
the
genius.
anime.
I wonder who paid for this.
Well, the Cyberpunk Edgerunners, the anime, was announced at the same time the game's release date was announced.
Okay,
So
so
they-
they
they-
planned this from day dot.
They'd planned this from day dot.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, does that mean Keanu Reeves is going to be in an anime?
That would be so
And everyone was like,
Everyone, I remember a bunch of people talking about that. It's like, yay, Keanu Reeves is now an anime character, but
no.
still, like you said, might happen.
Well, it's already technically happened with
Oh, that other one.
weird animated one from like
Yeah.
early 2000s. Well, it was rotoscoped over real action.
Oh wow, Scanner
Scanner
Darkly.
Darkly. Yeah.
That's a blast from the past.
Man, that's a wild film to watch.
Okay, so that makes sense. So they released it at a really good time.
They did.
in that
Well,
case.
not only that, they've released it at absolutely the perfect time because the first DLC lands next year and it's free.
Not only that, but like a lot of the game, from what I've heard, a lot of its initial glaring flaws have been severely patched up and fixed up. Apparently, it's a fully working game now.
So I wonder how long this anime had been ready to go.
This date had been locked in for quite a while.
Yeah.
And Studio Trick are quite a small team, so they had other anime come out in that time, so they wouldn't have had capacity to work on this until the allotted time.
They've had a long time to work on it, though.
Well, no, it's about standard. So typically, the animators start in the lead up. So the standard anime production, say we've got month 1, it's been officially confirmed from the date that it's announced. Normally, you're then about 18 months away from release when they say this is getting an adaptation. But before that, there would have been at least a year of groundwork done.
Yeah.
And in this case, they announced it a lot earlier because the production, the first time we heard it was heading to production was around 9 months after Cyberpunk came out. And that was when everyone was like, why is it still going ahead? Like it's a bomb. And no, obviously it's saved the game.
Yeah. Very strategic, very impressive in that sense.
I mean, that's CD Projekt Red. They do tend to do things quite smartly.
The story, I'd probably give a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Oh, the anime, you mean?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't played the game. I just feel like it didn't really go anywhere. Nothing happened. The city is still the exact same city. Nothing. It's like Pulp Fiction. It's just a blip on the radar on a city on Earth. And,
I suppose that's kind of in keeping with the theme of the games themselves. It's all about, like, these are the gangs. They do this havoc. They try to survive. They try to make a name for themselves, but always something goes wrong and it ends
it's kind of
tragically.
like an exercise on the futile nature of your efforts.
Yeah.
If you're operating in these senses. Because literally,
Well, I think it's also like, I mean, you look at it and you see the warning signs with Maine, and then you see the same warning signs with David, and you go, surely people should be learning. But there's always, and I think this is the thing with the idea of Cyberpunk, it's I am special in this world. And because otherwise, if I don't think that way, I will fall into a pit of despair at how horrible this world I live in is.
This is the thing. The first 3 episodes, I was kind of like, because nothing happened in the first 3 episodes except for this. I'm really sick of like protagonist being like, my life is so terrible and all these bad things happened to me, and then one day I found out I was special, and then hijinks ensue. But it wasn't until the 4th episode I think was much better.
Well, 4th one was the flashbacks. It was the 5th episode where when they went on the first proper big job.
Oh no, the 3rd episode was the uptick. The 1st and the 2nd I was like meh. 3rd was like slightly showing an actual storyline.
Oh, when they nicked the car and all that.
Yeah, where it could actually go, rather than him just being mopey and whatever. And then the 4th episode was just exposition.
I do agree.
With?
All of that.
Okay.
Because, look, it could have been... I think if they had an overarching story which set them up to have a sequel, then I think it would have been good. But I think they went into this with the idea we're only getting 1 season out of this, so it has to be self-contained. Therefore, we can dive not super deep into the world. We can dive just below the surface.
It gives an introduction to the game and its original content as well.
And because of this, never have I felt so inclined to base Cyberpunk. And I'm going to be 100% honest, this is the purpose of the anime. It's to drive you to buy the game.
Yeah, it's an advertisement for the game.
Serving as an advertisement, it's perfect.
That's very
in that
true.
regard. It's not a perfect anime, but as an advertisement for Cyberpunk the game, it's perfection.
Which is such a corporate mindset, but I dig it.
You damn corpo Choom.
It just could have done so much more if it had gone into like spoilers from here, just slightly.
But if it had gone
why Lucy was
the way she was and what she went through and picked.
Well, why where her
she's
parents
searching
were,
for.
I'm not really surprised why she was an orphan. That's just the city that they live in. People die by the thousands by the looks of it every day.
Oh no, they said that she was picked up somewhere else in the world and she was specially selected for Arasaka's whole
Well,
net
she did
project.
training to get to that point, but she didn't have any parents. Like, they specifically picked people who wouldn't be missed. That's what they said. But why they were deep diving into the old net.
Ooh, I can answer this.
But the anime didn't.
Oh, well, yeah, that's the thing. It's like, this is just an introduction to the world. And then there will be sequels. There's the game. There's, of course, the original tabletop RPG, which goes heavily into all of this, depending on where a DM would want to go.
But here's the thing, though, like, and we've discussed this at length. If you have to do additional reading for a product, it's not suitable.
It's not a complete product.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be just one of those sort of, and I probably should, but I hate this word, but it's sort of a mystery box. That's sort of another thing in the world for you to, ponder and ask questions about and talk about, rather than it's just being something that is just easily explained.
I think like
not a lot of mysteries are left.
I think if Cyberpunk Edgerunners was getting more episodes, like another season or two, then it was fine to leave that in there as something to tantalize for a second or third season as to what is in the old net. Because you could have Cyberpunk Old Net as the next season, and it doesn't have to have any of the characters, but set it in there and have it all surrounding Arasaka and then dive into it.
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
Basically, it would be like an anime Matrix. Just different.
But I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
And that's the shame for it. Like, if please, Trigger, if anyone from Trigger ever hears this episode, please make a sequel.
Not just Trigger.
This is the thing, though, because it's Netflix based.
Oh.
Netflix could just drag any old dog's body in to do it because they're a money-making machine. That's what they do. And this would have made them some coin.
Oh, well, I mean, it won't necessarily make them coin, but it's going to, because they don't care about that. They want big numbers on their shows to flaunt at the other streamers to say, look how good we are.
Oh, no, I reckon they definitely would have been like, hey, Cyberpunk, you want to host on our platform? We're going to take a cut of what you get.
Oh, yeah, but they're cut standardized. Like, that's normal. And this is the thing, like, the partnership was between Trigger and CD Projekt Red, not Netflix.
I think
Netflix were just the one who made the highest bid for it.
I think you can say that about a lot of the streaming services these days, though, is that they will have, like, a big tentpole name. Like, for Amazon, it's Lord of the Rings at the moment. For Netflix, it's either Stranger Things or Cyberpunk. Should be Castlevania. I love that one. But
no, Castlevania was up there as well on the list.
Castlevania was advertised as one of their
top tier
their
sort
banner
one of their big
shows
originals
for quite some time.
But yeah, it's like each streaming service seems to have like the big draw card. Disney's is basically the Star Wars ones.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Disney's is Disney.
Disney's just as Disney. Yeah, I mean, you look at Amazon, and Amazon have quite a diverse set of back catalogue but it's the big name that's supposed to be the draw card, and I reckon you're right that Cyberpunk was this was the thing that they were going to make a bunch of money off just by having it known.
It was a good bet for them. It was a very good bet.
Well, I mean, what was it? The Cyberpunk-esque series a few years ago that was not Blade Runner but seemed very similar to it.
Altered Carbon.
Oh, yeah.
That was Netflix as well. Same sort of thing. Had a big draw and it did really well.
Had an anime as well on the side.
Oh, yeah, it did too, didn't it? And the thing is that I think people look, Netflix needs to do better. We've been saying this for years, and I think they're starting to get the point where they're realizing it as well.
Where they've got to actually spend money on good stuff in order to make money.
Instead of just, I say that. They're starting to realize it, but they're still making the same mistakes like they did with the Netflix version of Cowboy Bebop, like they did with, I'm going to say it, the upcoming live-action One Piece. That's going to be trash. It's straight up going to be trash.
Yeah.
And the same thing for the live-action version of... Not the live-action version, the new... Oh, no, it was the live-action version of Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Can we please stop getting live-action?
They got rid of the two original guys who created it they left because Netflix wanted to change and put their own views in it. It's like, you need to stop telling creators what to do and let them create. And that's what's happened here because it's been an external studio instead of paid for by Netflix. And every time Netflix goes and puts their fingers into the production process, they stuff it up. And they need to stop doing it because Amazon and Hulu, Disney, and Disney Plus are allowing creators to create... Not Disney Plus. What's the other one? Apple TV. Are allowing the production company to create a solid product without their influence, and it shows because they're making bank.
You can take this bit out, but have you heard that Apple's doing credit cards now?
Oh, yeah, that's always been coming.
That's disgusting.
It's disgusting, but it's always been coming. Coles and Woolies do them.
Yeah, I know. They do
they
insurance
do literally
and stuff.
everything.
But like a tech company doing credit cards now.
Yeah, but they've already been doing that. It's your Apple Pay. It's just all they're doing is adding a lending feature. They already have the infrastructure there. It's
typical corpo trash.
Yeah. Man, are we Edgerunners?
That's the thing. The whole Cyberpunk universe was developed by this guy, Mike Pondsmith, years ago. The man is a genius writer.
And they've even got credit to him in the opening sequence. It's the first name on the screen.
That's cute.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh, because, it's like nothing can basically be created around Cyberpunk without his say-so on it, and, rightly so. But yeah, he basically wrote all of this because he was like watching everything become a lot more corporatized. So it's like, what's it going to be like in the future? And it's like, so he made Cyberpunk 2020. It was originally called as like a tabletop game. And then we, reached the future, and he's just like, yep, all right, for the actual video game, I'm going to just up the scales a bit. Let's see if this reflects the future. And it's going to.
It's getting a bit concerning. Now, I've just realised we've gone all this time without actually giving you the synopsis of Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
So David Martinez. First things first, this is not a retelling of the game. This is a separate story entirely, just set in the game's universe. David Martinez is an in-debt, expelled teenage dropout who teams up with a mercenary gang of cyberpunk called Edgerunners. He can use cyberware that would otherwise cause others to go crazy, and along with his fellow Edgerunners, they take on illicit jobs in an alternative future world that has everything going against them. As David climbs the underground ranks, events happen that take these Edgerunners through love, death, secrets, and betrayal right to the very edge, to the powerful corporate elites that look down upon everyone with twisted, deadly vengeance. It's got a lot of great characters. And I think we definitely have to give massive credit to the dub, and this is the only time I think I've ever said this about a Netflix dub.
Right?
It's impeccable.
It's a very good dub.
The English dub is great.
And and in some places, if you put the subtitles on with the English dub, you'll notice that the things that are said, even if they don't match the screen, it just might be that they've rearranged the sentence, and that's it.
Yeah, they've done a really good job of drawing out the same meaning, but in better language that would be used for, the future.
That culture. And
like they've added their own colloquialisms and sayings and things that are much more grunge and punk,
and in tune to what they're doing.
Subtitles.
That's original from like the old game as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, they've done a really good job. Whoever did the adaptation for the dub, massive props. Actually, I'm going to bring that up.
I gotta say, I love Rebecca's voice actor. The Havoc
She's
midget
amazing.
is wonderful.
Yeah.
She is, and Alex Cazares is her name. Born in '92 in LA, she has only been in a handful of series,
which is very surprising. She sounds like a total vet in this.
Well, she has been in Boruto as Shin Uchiha, a clone, and Suka Kanonji. Naruto Shippuden as Otsuki Asura.
You've watched Shippuden?
I have.
Which one's that?
Don't know, because I didn't watch the dub. I didn't watch the dub. It wasn't good. Glitter Force, Drifting Home, Modest Heroes, Only Yesterday, Somali and the Forest Spirits as lots of insert characters.
Only yesterday. That's quite an old one.
Yeah, that's an old Ghibli.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's an old
1991 it was. Well, I mean, that was before she was born, so obviously not.
Yeah.
So they must have. It must
brought her
be
in for that one too?
2016 was a new dub.
Or is she a time traveler?
That's really late for a new dub.
I think actually, if memory serves me right, that's getting towards when the deals with Disney started changing. So yeah. And then she's also been in Twin Star Exorcists and Mr. Osomatsu, along with there's other little bits and pieces. Like she's in Rent a Girlfriend, but I don't recognize the characters. Nagomi Kinoshita, and it's like that's not one of the main four girls. So maybe it's that's the grandma, I think. I think it's the grandma. She's not well known, and she should be.
She will be.
She will be after this, and I'm going to see if I can get her to talk. Now that I've found that I've got a way to get in touch with her, I want to. Emmy Lowe, also known as Cheryl Lee, is the voice actor for Lucy. She's done a astounding amount of anime. She was Hototo in Appare Ranman. She was Mika in a Kabi Sailor uniform. Yato Mika Minor in 86. That's the main girl, isn't it?
She has the quintessential saucy, steamy woman's anime voice. Like that kind of low...
Like, Lust from Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you say that. She's Mirai Shishio in Dr. Stone. That's the blonde girl with the
pink?
head. No. Hang
Which
on.
is the blonde girl?
She's from season 2, I believe. Oh, it's Tsukasa's sister. That's not who I was thinking it was. Ignore me. That's not saucy at all.
I mean, that suggests she just has
Who is
great
the
range
guy? Who is Maine?
Oh, man. Maine's
That
voice
voice.
actor. William C. Stevens. He
Dulcet
is...
tones.
Yeah, he's not very well known. And I think it's because the work he has done has been mostly outside of anime.
Pretty crazy that for a big name project like this, they pull a bunch of people that have been in, relatively small amount of stuff.
Yeah, so he was in the Avengers in a celebration montage. He was in Skull Island as additional crew. He did visual effects for Underworld Evolution back in the day. Like,
this guy's just...
He's done a lot of things outside of it. He was in Saints Row as martial characters.
Maybe that's... Because there's one voice in this show, one male voice, that is so recognizable, but I couldn't put my finger on where he's from.
Who was that?
I can't remember.
Oh, would it be Faraday? Because I'm still convinced that he's Cell from, the English voice actor Cell.
That would be amazing.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Goku, I have joined the Arakawas.
No, he has not been in any big anime that we know.
What about Falco then?
Falco. Matthew Mercer. That's what it is. Yep. So Matthew Mercer...
it kind of needs no introduction to a lot of people that
Yeah, but what are his top gigs?
These days, Critical Role.
Yeah.
But in anime, he's been in a bunch of things. He was in...
he was Levi Ackerman in Attack on Titan.
There you go.
He was in the original Bleach as Michael. Cowboy Bebop as a supporting voice back in the day.
Really?
Yep. Demon Slayer as lots of inserts, including the tongue demon from the film, from Demon Train, like the guy who's the main villain for Demon Train, Mugen Train.
Tongue?
That's what he's...
He has the hand tongue.
Yeah, that's why they call him that.
That's right, I
He's
forgot about that.
hit
You make
in
me
Dragon Ball
tongue-tied.
Super, Full Metal Alchemist. Oh, he was in the film, but not in the main series. Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex 2045. So I'm not sure on that. Hellsing Ultimate is several inserts. Like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, he's been JoJo.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Diamond is Unbreakable, Golden Wind, Stardust Crusades, Battle in Egypt, and Stone Ocean as Jotaro Kujo.
That's a huge role to have.
Yeah. He was in Kill la Kill as Mikisugi. I think that's the big tank guy.
You know what? I think that's where I recognize him
Or
from.
was he the teacher that's constantly stripping?
Oh, you know what? I'm going to Google and I'm going to make sure because we get things right on this. He's the teacher that's constantly stripping.
Oh, no.
That's worse. He was in Naruto Shippuden as about 30 different characters from random episodes.
Yeah, he's got good chops as a voice actor.
Yeah, good for him.
He's Law in One Piece. Trafalgar Law. He's a late character. He's in the One Piece Red film as well. Sailor Moon. He's Prince Demande.
No way.
In the Viz Media dub.
Oh, okay. In the
villain dude.
That's recent.
And Sword Art Online Kikuoka Sajiro. Is that? Yeah, it's the creepy dude who...
the villain.
Yeah.
I mean, creepy dude that, says, that's half of Sword Art's characters.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
No,
it's full of creepy dudes that,
That's a good thing. You don't want to see it. Yeah. Well, look. Sword Art Online is a fantastic look at the MMORPG thing, but it is chock full of problematic
I've heard
things with it. Yeah.
Shall we say mixed reviews?
Yeah. All right. So, look, back to Cyberpunk.
Yay.
The voice actors are fantastic, both English and Japanese. The translation has been very well done, and the characters are very likable and interesting.
And the tech and weapons are accurate
Oh my
to
god,
the
let's
game.
talk about that fire opening. Oh,
well,
boy.
yeah, they got Franz Ferdinand. I thought it was the original version. No,
Oh yeah,
Franz
that's
Ferdinand.
not. That's not a pun.
But it was.
Right, yeah.
So this fire
I
by
thought you
Franz
didn't
Ferdinand.
like it to start with. Like, you're like, it's all build up. It's not.
Well,
Oh
no,
yeah, I
because
don't appreciate listening to it because it doesn't actually have the bass drop in the song. It's like
Yeah.
having a techno song with just like
With no drop.
and like no actual.
Well, here's the thing: they
Hit.
re-recorded this fire for it.
Yeah,
No
I know
way.
because it's not the song.
No,
You can tell it's not this. It's not the original song at
Yeah.
all.
and it's
But
a
it's
shame.
still great, and the opening is stunning.
Oh yeah. But I mean
Gorgeous.
that's Studio
So
Trigger.
beautiful.
They splash color for their OPs
Yeah.
and they're amazing because
Yeah.
of it. So let's talk about what this has actually led to, because we've said that this has reinvigorated Cyberpunk 2077, and it certainly has to an insane extent. They're looking, apparently CD Projekt Red is working on a new title that looks like it will serve as a sequel to Cyberpunk 2077. Now, this came out on October 6th, 3 days before we recorded this, and it's looking like that thankfully has helped boost the game a bit, because since its release, Cyberpunk 2077 has sold almost 20 million copies globally across Xbox and PlayStation. Considering that this was taken off the PlayStation Store due to issues with it, it's saying a lot that it's getting the resurgence that, yeah.
Oh, this was always designed as an advertisement for the game.
Oh, we know.
And
But
they did such an epic job of it. Like, honestly, just like,
Yeah.
well done, well freaking played.
It's very, like, if
They
this
played
was...
us all, and I'm actually glad about
Like,
it.
do
Me
we
too.
think that this was like a backup plan in case the game screwed up?
I think this was the plan to get people to come back.
Well, after about 9 months, the hype of the game, even if it was good, it would have died down.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, that checks out. I mean, that's basically how it is for Elden Ring at the moment. A lot of people
and
are just
in
sort
that
of...
amount of time, you get a new audience.
You
Like,
do.
it doesn't seem that long of a time, but it is.
Well,
When you think about it,
So
yeah.
the
Especially with all the new graphics cards that are coming out.
well, and they only recently released in the past 6 months the graphical update for the next gen consoles as well.
Yeah.
Which is what it was meant to land on, which is what I've got it on. I've got it on the new Series X, and it looks so much better. So I played it on launch, and I played maybe a couple of hours, and I went, I'll come back to this. And
No,
then
you're right.
Life happened.
That's been talked about for age. I think you are
Whoever
absolutely
wrote this
correct.
No, seriously, whoever wrote this timeline in this marketing campaign deserves a friggin' Emmy for their performance. This is outstanding.
Not only that, its player count is up nearly 300% on Steam
Jesus.
in just the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And that's for good reason.
I've had it sitting in my library for a while. I think I'm just going to have to boot it up.
Well, here's the thing: like, I've had it sitting on the console, and I'm tempted to get it on the computer as well, just to show support for it, because it's like I don't want this as a franchise to die.
Someone make a multiplayer
And you
mod.
know what the trick is? I'm not a gamer. And I'm like, yeah, I might give it a crack.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
it
just because
works.
I don't want to play it. I don't care about the story. I want to see it.
So you want to watch me play it?
Yeah, that's probably what'll happen.
See,
boss
that's
you
the thing
around.
as well. Even like that critical plot central device, the Sandevistan mod. That is something you can get in game and play around with.
Now, you and I talked about this briefly, and I wanted to bring this up. So if there's going to be a multiplayer mod, and we don't know at this point, they originally announced that Cyberpunk was going to get 3 expansions, one of them being a multiplayer expansion.
Yeah, could you imagine if it was an MMO?
Oh, God. But that multiplayer mod looks very questionable at this point because of obviously the shaky launch it's had. Now, if Edgerunners manages to bring them up to the profit level they needed for it, fantastic. Because CD Projekt Red have a good habit of looking after their games. Look at how they handle the Witcher series, for instance. If that happened, I now know how. I've just realized how they could do the Sandevistan. Now, for those who haven't watched Edgerunners, the Sandevistan is a back implant. It replaces your spine, but it slows down time for you so you can do things in the blink of an eye that others would take ages.
It's a reflex and performance booster.
Yeah. The way you do it in the game, everyone else's vision would slow down, but their movement wouldn't increase.
Okay.
So they could see what you're doing. You'd still keep going and doing what you're doing, but Yeah, and then the trade-off would have to obviously be that whenever you use it, it stops working for a while, or you then get slower
a cool
reflexes.
down period. Yeah.
But yeah, imagine that in a multiplayer version, because they did say the multiplayer isn't like a combat version. I mean, you can go and turn team killing on.
I could see people griefing with that.
Yeah.
So easily.
Oh yeah.
But I suppose that kind of fits in with the environment.
Yeah, and I mean, if you die in Cyberpunk, you
die in real life.
Well, you'd kind of want it to be like a more hardcore future version of GTA.
Yeah.
I could see that.
God, I would love that.
Like, that would be sick.
I have so much time for that idea.
Cyberpunk Edgerunners, you can watch it on Netflix, and it's worth it. It is worth every minute of your time. I don't think it has high rewatchability, but I think we've got to give massive props for the soundtrack, because holy cow, the visuals, the voice acting, and just the actual guts to follow through with it after so long. Like, they've done it justice.
It's fantastic work.
I mean, a Studio Trigger, they're not going to put something out that's rubbish.
Yeah.
They just refuse to put it out. They'll push it back instead.
Yeah, the rewatchability of it is one of the reasons why I don't rate it as highly, because I'm not going to watch it again.
See, I think I'd watch it again after I finish the game. I think to give me ideas, and then because I'd finished the game, I'd be able to spot things I missed in the first watch through. But if you weren't playing the game,
you can actually visit in-game locations.
Well, they added that as the most recent patch.
I'm not surprised there.
Yeah. So there is an Edgerunners pack that's just been released free, of course, because that's how CD Projekt Red do it. You can get the jacket and the cars and the locations.
6 for the story, 9.5 for the artistic value, 11 out of 10 for the marketing strategy.
Yeah.
They got us.
They got us good.
And
I'm not even
mad. I want
mad.
to thank them for it. Just like ride that
This
horse.
was a corpo scheme all along.
All this time.
So clever.
Also, in case you are going to play it on some of the old platforms, it is still stable. But I'd recommend, if you're going to play Cyberpunk 2077, new consoles or PC. Like just
PC Master Race.
Or use like xCloud, so that way you don't need a console which can actually handle it. If you've got good internet in your area, otherwise don't do it. Cool. Now that brings us to news, and this is an odd situation because it's only been a week since the last episode. And there's not much that's come out, but there are things that we do need to talk about.
Kawaii-Fi Radio.
Tonight on Anime Communique.
Great story, compelling and rich.
Nothing brings ratings up like a little controversy.
Are you ready for the controversy?
Hit me with controversy.
Oh, that's right. You teased it in the pre-show, which you can get if you're a Patreon.
Oh, wow. You're getting on the money.
Why not?
Domestic girlfriend.
Uh-huh.
All right.
I already don't like this news.
Yeah, you shouldn't like where this is going. Kei Susugawa, the creator of Domestic
I
Girlfriend.
still don't like where
Came
this
out
is
as a
going.
lesbian like Velma.
No. Has launched a new manga on October 19 in 10 days.
No.
Now.
Wild boyfriend.
Instead of domesticated girlfriend. No, this is much worse. Couple gaihi des. Not
Yeah,
the,
I
not
was
the
like,
ooh.
oh
What
my
am I
god,
doing?
you just said Desi.
Desu. Remember, the U
It
is
needs
silent.
more desu.
Couple gaihi des. It's a secret
Gaihi.
between couples, is what it translates to. Yep.
Kapperu gaihi desu.
Couple.
Is that what it is? Or couple?
Couple. Couple.
Okay.
So it's
Yeah.
couple.
They
Gaihi des.
used katakana for it, and then
So
they've got the
kapperu
yeah.
gaihi.
It's going to be so. The Domestic Girlfriend ended in June 2020 with mass hatred online because literally bait and switch.
Like 85 of it, percent of that hate came from this podcast.
No.
And most of that
85% of that hate came from me.
just Kyle.
No. Massive. Look, basically, she bait and switched.
Yeah.
She spent I think it was
She subverted audience expectations.
Well, no, it was about 200 chapters, the story, and it was a monthly or fortnightly release. I can't remember. No, it was fortnightly, and 150 of that was the main guy's relationship with one girl, and then at the end, the other girl gets in a car accident, and he decides, never mind that I have a daughter with the other girl, I'm going to drop everything and look after her and get married to her while she's in a coma.
That's dumb.
Yeah, it's just everyone was like. Even people who were standing for the other girl were like, this isn't okay.
Just sounds like a pity party.
It reads like, I don't know, a parody of daytime soaps.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm married and pregnant with your evil twin, and I have amnesia.
Yeah,
I would totally watch like a telenovela about that.
Oh, you would love Passions.
I watched Passions as a kid. It was the best.
Oh,
my
God.
sister and I used to race home from school so we could catch the last
my
20 minutes.
sister unironically loved it.
Yeah, man. It's great. It's brilliant.
God. Well, look, this new one, it's interesting that it's coming out now because it's not only changed the publication she's with, which I think... So she was
Did the
Domestic
other ones get rid of her?
Well, Weekly Shonen Magazine by Kodansha was where Domestic Girlfriend has been, and that's where all her prior manga has been released. She's moved over to Shueisha, the competitor's Grand Jump magazine.
Wow.
Everyone online
That's
has been
kind of
like,
backstab.
something's happened, clearly.
Yeah, fired or stolen?
Well, what I'm betting's happened is that after obviously the finale came out, and then
the dumpster fire of the finale, yep.
and then all of the manga volumes came out in the international market, and no one bought them because everyone had already read them online. So it's probably cost them money, and they went, look,
ouch.
For us, we don't really. If you're going to do another romance, we won't take it on. And Shueisha's went, that'll be fun. So it's going to be another domestic dumpster fire. It's a secret
It'll be
between
a dumpster
couples.
fire between couples.
I'm going to wager a bet that this is going to end up being like a swingers thing, and it goes wrong, and it's all drama for the whole way, where it could all be solved if they actually talked.
Is this all just Japanese 50 Shades of Grey?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, God.
Basically.
I'm secretly hoping that it's like the secret between the couple is that, you know, every Wednesday night they wear each other's clothing and like go out in the town.
I thought you were going to go like hell October spooky. They're like, the secret between the couples is that every Wednesday they go out and they pick someone up and kill
someone.
them. It's like,
Actually, I would watch that.
I'd watch
does
that,
sound
actually.
fun.
Like, yeah.
But like based on Sasuga's track record, no, that won't be it. It'll be romance. It'll be trashy. Her first one was actually really well done, and Domestic Girlfriend copied a lot of the story elements from it. But the first one ended well because you knew who was the girl that was going to win the whole way through. There was no question, and it made sense because of the way the characters interacted. But with Domestic Girlfriend, it made sense all the way until the end. You know, that's just the way it is.
She just wanted to do something different. She wanted to subvert expectations.
Yeah, let's hook them up together when they've had no shared panels for 130 chapters.
Let's have a guy hook up with Comatose. But
Would you like a brick for a wife? Sign here, please.
No.
Wait, she's comatose and he marries her? Is that what happens?
Yeah, to be her carer. And
but
then they have a proper ceremony after she wakes up.
But if she's comatose...
Her family are the carers, and they approve it.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I was like, but she can't approve any sort of marriage.
Yep. It's dodge. They used this in the second half of the first season of Sword Art Online as well.
I just have to wonder what the mentality of this. Oh, it's like Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, no. So look,
time to change your diaper.
So if you want to take anything out of this, don't read or watch Domestic Girlfriend if you're expecting to be happy at the end of it, and don't read whatever comes out next. It's a secret between couples because it too will be bad.
And it's not. The secret is not murder.
Just make it up. Whatever the secret is between the two couples, make it up and write your own
They
story.
are secretly building a robot dinosaur.
I mean, I'd be down for that. My Hero Academia Season 6 has started, and the dub premieres on October 15th. It's Crunchyroll streaming the dub again. If you've been paying attention to the massive mess that's happened with the Mob Psycho dub, because they've now said, we want to do it in person, we want to do it in Texas, because they don't do dubs with the guilds or the unions, basically to save money, because Texas doesn't like unions at all. That's basically meant most of it's been recast for the third season.
I hate it when they're recast.
Yep. And the most annoying thing is that the guy who was playing Mob, the main character, all he said to them is, look, I'm happy to still work on a non-union contract. I just want you to have a conversation with the union for me. And they instead of actually replying to that, they just recast him.
Wow.
Everyone's replaceable.
Well, Crunchyroll were really good at looking after people until they were bought by Sony. And we all said this was going to happen, and this is exactly what's happened.
Pretty much.
You know, also, they kept saying that all your anime in one place, but they haven't got half the anime this season.
And they keep dumping stuff as well.
Yeah, there's that too. But look, this is going to...
The world is entering a great age of piracy.
My Hero Academia is going to have its... that dub is going to premiere at New York Comic Con, I believe. No, sorry. They announced it at the panel at New York Comic Con over the weekend.
Okay.
So...
Oh, man, I'd be if I was there. They're like, we've got a really cool announcement about...
this
and then it's just like, we're going to announce.
Well, I mean, look, it's literally this week, October 15. So
I know, but it's Comic-Con.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you want to bring something, a trailer at least, to get people hyped.
Well, they probably have an English dub trailer, but Crunchyroll is streaming the first episode showing ahead of time the first episode of Chainsaw Man at the expo this weekend.
Oh, okay.
See, that's what you would think would be shown at something like Comic-Con.
Super Beaver are performing the opening theme. They did several opening themes for Shippuden. And they were some of the good themes too. So yeah. So this is season 6. It's going to be messy, it's going to be violent, and it's going to line us up for the final arc as well.
Yeah, this is a big boy arc, isn't it?
It is a big boy arc. Let's talk about Demon Slayer. Because
always,
if we
must. Entertainment District arc is getting released on Blu-ray, and at part of the New York Comic Con, they have announced that on the 15th of October, the same day that the dub for My Hero comes out, news for the new season is expected to be announced.
Awesome.
So I believe there's an event in Japan which is going to be streamed on the Demon Slayer channel, allegedly, at least according to the article I'm looking at, which says they're going to be doing
next arc is Swordmaker Village, I think.
Yeah. Well, part of it's Swordmaker Village. If it's going to be 25 episodes, which it's suspected it will be, it did say 2 core in the initial announcement. Half Swordmaker Village and then another half potentially on something else.
Yeah, they need to set it up because... at the end of the last one, before the Entertainment District, they set up the Entertainment District, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, sort of.
Can't remember.
They set the Entertainment District up in the film at the end of the film.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to be fair, they also did set up the film at the end of season 1 because we had them at the train station.
Yeah. And at the end of the Entertainment District, there was no setup.
There was something. It wasn't big.
Lot.
It wasn't big, though.
So
it was...
the first 2... maybe 3 episodes
will be
set up for the final.
Actually, you know what the first 2-3 episodes are going to be? It's back to base, recovery, and then here's your new mission, along with here's all the exposition between the boss people talking and Wonderful Man
Michael Jackson being like,
here's what we know about the bad guys.
Or he was just like, no, they weren't good enough. I have a spare. Well, actually, it was 2 of them, so yeah.
Yeah,
well,
he'd be like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, look, that's going to be 15th of October. I'm excited. If you weren't already aware and you are a manga reader, the entire Demon Slayer manga is finished. It has been for a few years, actually. So it's if you're not willing to wait, go read it, and it will still be good to watch because it's UFO Table, like... they make beautiful anime.
I don't want to spoil the anime.
No. All right. And the last thing we do want to talk about is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean. Part 3 is the final part, and it's launching on Netflix on December 1st. It's going to be episodes 35 to 38 for everyone who's excited. So we're going to see more of Jolene and the girls after they've been in prison and what happens from there. Apparently, this is the final major story arc to do with Dio.
Ooh.
So this is like a bookend of like the first era of JoJo. And this will be big when it does hit. I expect
an event like that is pretty tentpole.
Well, I was going to say next, because I mean, we already saw lots of people dressing up as the characters from it this year at conventions. Next year, March, it's going to be, everyone is just going to be, it's going to be JoJo everywhere. Because the endings are always epic for JoJo. So
yeah, I mean, I don't JoJo, but I know who Dio is.
Yeah. Well, the final battle to end the century-long fateful confrontation between the Joestar family and Dio begins.
He's the guy from Fortnite.
Okay. No, that's Vegeta. Or is it, what's the other one?
I'm going to get a death threat for that, I think.
Actually, completely random side note, One Piece Odyssey game's coming out.
Yeah, I saw a trailer for that.
It basically looks like it is the entire series as a game. And now
That's
that I'm on
gonna take so long.
No.
Now that's something that would be pretty fun as an MMO as well.
Yeah.
Could you imagine you're just like assigned a random
Fruit.
Yeah.
One Piece MMO.
Yeah. And then you can like try and hunt for different fruit.
You are the pen fruit. You can only turn into a penguin. That's your only ability.
Yeah.
Greatest power of all.
Because we were talking about this because I was telling Emma about like the different characters and their abilities have come up, and she's like,
I was
"Is there a
questioning
fruit for everything?"
I was questioning the horticulture.
No, that's fair enough. I just like the idea that
agree.
the plants, like all of these different like gum fruit plants, they're watered from the pools from Ranma Half.
I mean,
this is the pool of rubber tree. Very sad story.
about Rubber Tree who fell in and drowned 500 years ago.
I was like, who's
Let's
growing
find
all
out.
of these fruit? Where are they? I want to see these orchards.
I know, right?
It's like a gumball machine. They're all like different.
I mean, we saw a massive tweet which was from Viz Media a couple of weeks ago, where it was just all in capitals, "The One Piece is real." And it's to do with the most recent chapters. They've gotten towards the end of the Grand Line by the sounds of it. And I wonder if the One Piece is the orchard.
Oh, yeah.
Because he says, "I've left all my treasure there." Perhaps he is the origin. Perhaps the original pirate is the origin. Gold D.
After all this time,
Yeah.
he was just like a mad gardener. Just like the world's greatest
Turns out
biologist.
One Piece is a botanical anime.
Yeah, give me that botanical, horticultural, lore. That's what I want.
Yeah.
My treasure was potatoes all along.
At the end of the Grand Line, it's just island. It's just like, did we mention we're growing all these different potatoes using different types of beer? This one is the Guinness potato, and it's had 4 varieties, and we've mixed it with Kilkenny.
I don't know. Did you know that Peru has 42 different species of potato? They all look different.
I want to try all of them.
Isn't
I
that where
want to
they
try all of
originated?
them. So what?
They originated in South America.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
But just like you see a picture of all the different variations of potato, like some are red and long, some are like yellow and spiky, and just like, what do you taste
Pork.
like?
I want to turn them all into chips and
toes.
see which one is the best.
Yes.
Oh, like a bag of just multi-chips. It's just like,
Yes.
what's it gonna be?
Look, I'm down for that as long as they're not poisonous like the yams and all that.
I mean, they are part of the nightshade family.
Yeah, but the potato.
I always forget that.
I do too.
That's loony.
I
Well,
never
look,
forget.
Well, it's a better
The
part
chance
of the.
that a potato can kill you is very low.
But not zero.
All right, and on that starchy note, I guess we'll wrap up.
Kawaii-Fi Radio.
Starchy Note is my new death metal band name.
That's a particular name.
Hello, I'm Kenny, and we are Starchy Note.
Starchy note.
This is our first song. It's called Guinness Potato.
I was going to say, potatoes can kill.
Potato is a nightshade. Oh, look, that's going straight to our Patreon. And thank you so much for listening. It's definitely been a...
If we reach 1,000
episode.
Patreons, we will sing the Starchy Potato song.
Don't tempt me, man.
That's a
I've
real cute use of the royal we.
The sass that's coming from the other side of the table right now is like off
It
the
radiates.
chart.
That'd
Yeah.
be like me and Aaron, maybe. I don't know.
Look, I'm pretty sure the three of us would happily do something.
Let's write a thing.
Let's write a thing. So, next episode, it's Halloween time.
Yay for wieners.
Yay, spoopy.
We still haven't written up a poll on the Instagram, on the Patreon for our patrons to vote what is going to be this year's theme.
Oh, yes.
But it'll be spooky. And
We did think about having a ladies' night because all of the ladies on this podcast are spooky girls. We are all into our horror, ghosts, nonsense.
oh, look, the Halloween episode is always a big episode, and
Yeah.
if we can get everyone together for it, it'll be a little bit messy, but it'll be highly entertaining. We'll have to have the talking stick. We can we'll have the talking pen, the talking anime plush. If you have the plush, you can talk.
Like a talking pumpkin or something.
Or we can
Needs
do
to
that.
be on brand.
It needs to be on brand. We can give him a pumpkin head.
Okay.
Yeah,
Deal.
all right. Now, podcast news-wise, we're back in 2 weeks.
Yay.
So we're now back on our proper schedule after the move and the mess and all that. We couldn't wait until now to do an anime preseason because Aaron and Tifa are over at Penny Arcade Expo East. Kira Lee is working, I believe, and well, Kenny, you were working all morning as well, and Emma, you're back at work tomorrow, and I'm back at work tomorrow, and it just had to happen.
It's been a loony
couple of weeks. But we've got the rest of the year planned out, and get excited for our brand new Kawaii-Fi Anime Awards for the year. It's going to be very different to what we've done before. A lot less bluster and a lot more silly, and possibly live streamed. We haven't decided yet. We will see how we go.
I do like the goof.
I do like the goof too.
Goof
we
is
might
better than long, as we've normally done.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a bit too long. And also, like, just for the amount of work we put in for the actual interest in it, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
When me and Emma first met, I literally spent a week doing the visual editing for it. It was intense.
It was not good.
It was not good.
It's not good.
And then I think, like, on YouTube, like 50 people watched it.
Yeah.
It's like,
50 people watch
Anyway.
that thing. That's so
yeah.
cool.
No, that's not blaming anyone. It's just like, no, it wasn't a good use of the time. We could have
Yeah.
created more content in that time, which would be more fun. So that's what we're focusing on, creating more content, better. Videos will be coming back at some point for the normal channel. It's just been a bit hectic, and I haven't even got the filming set up yet, so that's something I've got to do. So now, on that note, Patreon, lots of stuff going up there in the next few weeks from the back catalogue of stuff that I've had to get done. We will have more stuff on there. Big thank you to our patrons as always.
Thank you.
Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and yeah, that's it. Any pressing thoughts?
Oh, we'll chuck our Halloween costumes up on Patreon if anybody's interested.
Oh, you mean the one we're going to use this weekend?
Yep.
Yeah. We've if you are in Perth, unlikely, but it may be because we do see a lot of people at conventions. We have an event coming up on this Friday. Now that would
Friday the 15th.
Friday the 15th. Instead of watching Chainsaw Man, because let's be fair, it won't come out until the Saturday because it's coming out on midnight. Come down to Badlands Bar in Northbridge. Is it Northbridge or is it Perth technically?
It's technically Perth. It's not in
Perth.
Northbridge.
We've got an event called Hoshi After Dark, which we do with our wonderful friends at HoshiCon. Clockwork. It is a steampunk anime night. So come down, dress up. We've made lots of interesting cocktail names. We have one which is blue and is called Hal's Bathwater, as in Hal's Moving Castle. So the girls were very excited about naming that. Not the Kawaii-Fi girls, but the Hoshi girls.
Do they have a bio shot? You know, like a play on the Bioshock?
We do have something related to Bioshock, and we also have the Steam Boy, which is an espresso martini cocktail.
Yeah,
Hey.
So, getting the good stuff in there. And yeah, that's it, I guess.
I like espresso martini.
I love an
Basic.
espresso martini. Look, you know me, anything with coffee in it, I'm there. It's not funny how much I'm there.
Wish
And
we could
anything
get
that's
pumpkin
basic,
spice
you're
in
there.
Australia.
Oh,
Do you imagine a pumpkin spice espresso martini?
well,
That's
Aaron is
great.
in Melbourne, and he did say that the Starbucks staff
Yeah.
over there gave him a site where you can order the actual syrup.
The juice.
I've never tried it.
It's really nice.
My man.
My
yeah,
man.
it's good.
Like for all the woo white girl wah, it's actually pretty tasty.
There's a reason why.
It's a thing.
It's a
Alright,
thing.
alright. I'll have to
We'll
give it a
have
shot.
to get it ourselves, and then we can do it ourselves, especially once we've got the new house, which is still a ways off.
Yeah.
But then we can make coffee experiments. Anime-themed coffee. This is the Gurren Lagann. Why is your coffee blue and red? I don't want to explain that. Right, and with that, I've probably just made that spike. That was a terrible idea. Why did I clap? Thank you so much for listening, and until next time,
Watch some anime!